everybody, what's going on? What I'm seeing be happening within the energy looks like you being in a position where you may kind of have to defend something or stand within something that you believe. It can be kind of like these are non-negotiables for me, or there's a responsibility for me to be showing up in this particular way, or I believe that this is how things should be done, and there can be something that has to be worked out. This can also mean too that if you're in some type of group setting, there can be something that you're kind of like coming up against a little bit, or it feels like it's coming up against you. It doesn't have to be like that. Like what I'm thinking of is feeling like being in a work situation where there may be something going on where you sort of have to stick to your values in some way, where you may not want to negotiate, or it can be having to do with like a commitment or something like that you have. I'm seeing us begin with Four of Pentacles. Sometimes too the energy like starts making more sense the more we move through things. The word discussion is coming through. Yeah, this is feeling like holding on to something that's important to you. So this can be connected with like your values and what's empowering to you, and you can even be feeling protective of your energy right now, because your Empress energy is kind of what like emits from you and what comes from within, especially when you're in a good place with yourself. And it also is about the things that you cherish and you care about, and you may be feeling protective over this. So this can be like protective over your expression, or like your creativity, or just your energy in general. Maybe this is about using your discernment with how it is that you're using your energy and expending it as well. I see this kind of like wanting to kind of like keep it within a little bit here, or keep it to yourself rather than giving it away. Maybe it like kind of caused some sort of issue. I see this thing again about you keeping your energy to yourself here. What this can mean too is that if there's a particular way that you do things and you like the way that you do things, you can also feel protective of that process for you too. Right after something goes down, I'm seeing an opportunity come. It's like once something is removed, immediately something else replaces it, is the feeling from this. But yeah, maybe you felt here like you needed to hold something back, and that may have closed out a cycle or a situation, something that happened here. That gets slid off the table, and immediately something else is presenting itself to you. It's like one door closes, another one opens, and it feels like immediate the way that this happens. Let's say it like this too, because timelines can be different for everybody. You can be in a place where you feel like you really need to protect your energy because of what you've gone through. Like Ten of Swords, for some of you, it can be something that just happened that you felt like you gave your energy. Maybe something happened, you didn't like the way that things went down, and so it can make you feel a little bit scared about new situations. Whether this happened a while ago or it happened recently, that's not really what really matters. Is where you are within the energy, right? Like something could have happened to them 20 years ago and it's still in their energy as if it just happened to them. So timing is kind of irrelevant when it comes to the energy. It doesn't really imply anything at all, because some people process through things, some people don't. Somebody processes through something in a second, they go to the grave with that thing unprocessed. So it's more about the process, it's more about the energy, what's showing up, what's happening. when we have Four of Pentacles, we feel like we need to contain something. And when we have the Empress there, this can be like your best qualities. This can be the things that people love about you. This can be the things that people value and maybe want from you too. And that's not to say that these aren't things that you want to share, but maybe you went through some experience where you were like, I did share my energy, and I shared my gifts, and I shared my love, and I shared this, and I shared that, as the Empress does, because that is our energy that we basically like birth into the universe. So it's something that, again, naturally it emits from us, but we do have control over the faucet of like how much we share with other people or don't share, how much we like expose that part of ourselves. It's our Venus energy. It's our love. It's our care. It's our qualities and whatnot. It's our attention. It's our devotion. It's our focus. So yeah, coming to this place, maybe something happened that has you feeling like you need to kind of hold on to this part of your energy and protect your energy right now, because you're still carrying this thing with you that had happened that you could have feel like really put you through it in a lot of ways. And even though I'm seeing there be an opportunity knocking at your door here, you can be like, well, I'm still carrying some of this baggage with me. I haven't totally processed it. And I get like a little bit, this is making me feel standoffish. I get a little bit of a standoffish energy with this. So you can have something presenting itself to you, but you can also be like, well, I remember what happened back there. I don't really want to go through that again. So this can be something, I'm not saying you're dismissing something entirely. This feels more so like you're looking at it and you're remembering things where it's like, this kind of feels like there's potential for it to end like that other thing did, or went down like that other thing did. And like, am I willing to take that risk? Because I don't see anything where it's like you're gonna get hurt or anything like that. I'm not seeing that. But if you're using your past to inform you of like a present situation, it can be something that you're thinking about here, and you're being standoffish because of that. Feels like not really releasing your energy to this situation where you would conjoin it if you were open to it. Feels more like a holding back. And it, funnily enough, it can even be like the best sides of yourself too that you can be kind of holding back here. I mean, there can be something about vulnerability as well when we have Empress and Ten of Swords. This can be like, I did show up and I did give my energy and I did expose this part of myself, and then that thing happened. Because it feels like something that you were involved in, where you were exchanging in some way, and then things happened. You feel like you're kind of marked by this. I'm not saying you're going to stay feeling like that, but you can definitely feel like, you're still carrying it with you, and now you can be like holding back entirely. I get the sense of somebody that wants to connect with you, actually, here. But yeah, this just feels like I remember what happened when I was kind of presented with this situation before. But I also don't want to confuse that by implying that this is going to be anything the same. I'm not really getting that. Okay, so we go from holding back, like not giving anything, to then very slowly moving to a place of giving something. It feels like just a little bit though. Feels like one of those times where you can really learn from the experience, but it can feel difficult to learn from something when it challenges you so much, when it hurts, when it's difficult to process. Now you're like, what do I do with this opportunity here? feel like something has changed, and this is what's presenting itself to you now feels different. But I'm still getting this thing that you're carrying with you here of safeguarding your energy, then being like, fine, okay, and taking steps, but then something happening here. And then like not really knowing what to do with that. But you know what this feels like to me? I get the sense that you're still carrying things with you that are like old situations that you're not technically in anymore, but you can still feel like there's pain that you're carrying that you have not processed. I'm not saying like you haven't processed at all, but it can be something where it intimidates you, it scares you when certain opportunities be coming through. So it can be something that you're thinking about, but I'm actually seeing you start to warm up. I'm seeing you start to come around. But it feels like needing to know that this situation is different. There's something specifically about that where it's like, I don't want to do a repeat. This needs to be different. And I think very well that this can be a different situation, but you can be spending some time assessing in order to make sure that that is actually true. I also get this sense that there's something going on. There's something with the timing here in this situation where it goes from, like, for example, for some of you, you're dealing with someone and you're like, they're barely giving me anything here. It goes from them being shut down to then there being a change, and then there's an opening that I'm seeing happen, but it's only happening as they're processing their past stuff that they haven't totally moved through. Because this is somebody where it's like they actually, within their core, they want to be involved in exchanges. That's something that they like. However, they've had experiences that have kind of deterred them from doing that, and they can feel really resistant to putting themselves out there and experiencing that pain again. And so you can kind of be left in a situation where, even though I'm definitely seeing there be opportunity there, at the same time, this can be something where you have to wait for them. Or if this is your own process, you kind of have to move through this, and you may not be ready to open up until you've moved. It's kind of like the new chapter has arrived, but if we haven't totally moved through the last chapter yet, like, what are we really doing there? So it feels like there's a need to close up that last chapter in order to wholly enter into this next chapter. There can be something with the timing transit-wise that's taking place here too with this. Yeah, I get the sense like this was keeping someone, like they weren't going anywhere at all because they were so shut down. So like things were not really moving. So it's like if the boat is tied up, it doesn't matter how much you're paddling, it's staying tethered. So it wasn't really going anywhere. And I was seeing something like that has been happening within the energy, just as like a lockdown. But now I'm seeing there be, it feels like actually that timing of things is concluding, but I'm getting something having to do with the timing. But even, let's say like somebody that's not aware of astrology at all and like how transits work, not aware at all of that, you'll still see that the way that they just happen to time things out ends up aligning with some type of transit that they're going through. I'm seeing this. So I'm actually seeing what it was that needed to be like rebalanced. I'm seeing the rebalancing happening now. Well, it depends on where you are within the timeline. If you're not at that point yet, then you're not going to be there yet. For some of you, you can be there within the timeline. But I'm getting it have to do specifically with the person's chart and what they're going through. Okay, so this is a big deal, this door that's opening. A very big deal. Okay. If something is presenting itself as if it could possibly become a very concrete structure in one's life, it feels like there's still some indecision. Like, I get the feeling that if this person, they hadn't been through particular things that maybe made them uber cautious, that this may be something that would have like been happening already. But I get more so, I'm seeing Scorpio here, I get more so the sense of somebody that it's like they're carrying those things with them, and so they tread very carefully when it comes to what they're signing on for, because this is also somebody that there can be something special going on with their Venus energy. Like, there can be a focus on Taurus or Libra within their chart, or like a highlight of Venus within their chart, something. A moon in a Venus ruled sign. So there can be something going on here where this person may be hesitant to like warm up to getting involved in something, but only because they take their commitment seriously. So that can also be something that you see going on here too. And that can be why they haven't like totally committed. But I am seeing things moving, and I'm seeing it be on track. Like, this doesn't look like things are stationary. I'm seeing things moving, but it can be very slowly. Yeah, whatever this thing is, I'm seeing there be something astrologically that's happening that's connected with like a time release that's associated with the past stuff. Which also means that there's a process of learning and growing from what one has experienced as well, and that being part of things too. But that's where the tension can be, because I'm getting like not everything feels smooth sailing right now. And that's why things are where they are. But then I'm seeing that the energy is going to pick up. I'm also seeing there be like a lot of anxiety, a lot of like overthinking to the point of inaction, a lot of worrying about stuff, and like fear and not wanting of getting hurt. Like, these are the sorts of things that are happening. Seeing Death card be the theme on the bottom of the deck, it can be, whether this is you or it's the person that you're dealing with, this is somebody that feels like they're going through a time of like major transformation within their life. They can be going through a huge transition right now. And these are the types of big things that it can anyway, take people time to move through, because it's a lot of energy that's being shifted around and a lot of stuff that has to be integrated. And you kind of have to do the like due process that is going to take for each individual to move through. But I am seeing progress being made. I just get that it may be at a snail's pace. So that can be the feeling of it. Even whether you're the person or you're dealing with the person, like, everybody can be feeling that way about things. But it can be feeling like that's the best way to move through things given this situation. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.